By Megan Cuniff. Thank you again for joining us here on Live Now from Fox Legal Affairs, journalist covering this from the very beginning. Let's get into the latest with Brian Steele after he was held in contempt yesterday, arrested, taking off his coat and tie, led away, then brought back in. What do we make of this today after maybe not revealing his source there about who told him about this meeting there in the judge's quarters?
There was some thought that today was going to proceed with just nary a mention of what had happened yesterday, but we were all reminded of it when there was an issue raised with Woody and his current counsel. This is Kenneth Copeland, who was the witness at the heart of this ex-parte meeting. His testimony or lack of testimony in the beginning had caused a lot of concern for prosecutors. And there were some allegations that his own defense attorney was working against his interests. So this meeting Monday morning was obviously spurred by that. And then here this morning, Copeland announced on the witness stand, she fired. He said that about his lawyer. He said he did not want to have her as counsel anymore. She had actually approached the judge about it, looking to withdraw as counsel. So that was eventually allowed this afternoon. But Judge Glanville said, you know, you're not quite done here yet, and set the hearing for June 25th. And he didn't give more details than that, but his order describes what this is. And it's exactly what we thought. He suspects that she is the one who leaked this information, or leaked might not be the right word, who told Young Thug's attorney about this ex-parte meeting that was going on and what was said in that. So we've got the 25th to look forward to with that.
Yeah, we're going to go round and round in circles talking about this. Let's get into the Brian Steele thing, because obviously he did not reveal his source yesterday when we talked. He might have had the opportunity to tell the judge who that source was, where he learned the information. Of course, he did not do that. He's ordered to serve 20 days, 10 weekends there, going in on Friday at 7 p.m., being released again on Sunday at 7 p.m. Of course, he's also there going to serve in the same prison as Young Thug. How rare is this, and maybe how much credibility does he earn with his client to serve time in the same place as Young Thug?
I'd say this is rare. It's not unheard of for an attorney to be charged with criminal contempt. I've seen it before. I haven't seen it in this kind of dramatic fashion, and I have not personally covered a jail sentence like this that's pending. And I think the fact that he wants to be cellmates with Young Thug is a testament to their great relationship that they've had really over the years. It's not just this one trial. Young Thug even has a song where he mentions Brian Steele and gives him a shout out. So I think this is just a testament to how close they are.
Yeah, that is a great insight there, Megan, because I did not know that. But of course, they're the 10 weekends they will be working on their defense there in this very extended trial. Let's talk now next about, continue.
I was going to say, I think there is a chance, because he is appealing this. And there was some back and forth with Glanville about whether he even could appeal it. But the defense attorneys he has seem adamant that they're appealing this. So we could see some action in the next couple of days. Whether it stays his jail sentence is to be seen. But I am expecting something to unfold in the next few days regarding his appeal. All
right. Why am I not surprised by that? So another development we'll keep our eye on. All right. Let's get into the other maybe headline from this trial earlier on today, talking about little Woody, who was on the stand, Kenneth Copeland. There, I want to put up this tweet, and he said, maybe emphatically, she fired, about his attorney right there. What do we make of this moment, and maybe what transpired after it? Because it's not as simple as you announce on the stand that your attorney is fired. How much is going into this?
Right. There was some discussion with Woody about, does he want to represent himself? Does he want new counsel? And the judge was reluctant to just release the attorney while Woody was still testifying. So there was a lot of back and forth on that. And then there was also a question of, is the woman who appeared for him, Kayla Bumpus, is she actually technically his attorney? Because she had served in place of Jonathan Melnick, who's an Atlanta defense attorney who appeared for Copeland on Friday. So there was just some kind of technical back and forth, but she ended up filing her motion to withdraw. And that's when Judge Glanville said, you know, you're not quite done here yet, and scheduled the hearing for June 25th.
Yeah, not quite done yet. And she tried to approach the judge there to have kind of a conversation, not in front of the court as well. Maybe what's the likelihood that she remains on this trial moving forward? Is that a possibility? Because there were obviously Kenneth Copeland remained on the stand. She was present for this. What's the likelihood that this actually happens, that she's actually fired?
I think she's done. I don't think we're going to see her again in the courtroom outside of this hearing on June 25th. I think Copeland is in his own up there, and in the end, Judge Glanville was making it clear that Copeland has his own choices to make here. So, and I think Judge Glanville has been concerned about the presence of attorneys, and I think he shares some of the concerns that prosecutors have about perhaps perhaps Copeland's interests aren't being represented here. But the ex-parte, to not even notify the defense attorneys about this ex-parte meeting that he had is really the extraordinary and almost unheard of action here.
Yeah, and you mentioned it potentially at the beginning, that potentially it was Bumpus that informed Steele of this meeting. And is there a possibility that she didn't know that he wasn't supposed to know?
It's possible, because overall everyone feels like the defense, this is something you get notified about. Yeah. When there's ex-parte is not uncommon, but it's standard that the other party who is not subject to this would be informed about this. So it is possible that the attorney just thought that this was something he should know about. I think that the question from an attorney duty standpoint is this something that she talked about with Kenneth Copeland, and did Kenneth Copeland know that she was relaying what he said in the meeting and what this meeting was about to counsel for Young Thug?
All right, that makes sense. And I do want to ask you one more question, because she was fired there by Kenneth Copeland. She left the courtroom, and apparently she went on Law & Crime and there was commenting on this. Do we know any information about that, about what was said by Bumpus, and maybe any ramifications it has?
You know, I have not. I'll have to check that out. That's the first I'd heard of it. But I imagine this is something that could come up in the show cause hearing, depending on what she said.
All right, and I do have to ask you, because it is development after development in this case. Can we predict, can we even look ahead to what's coming down the road for this trial? And potentially having a mistrial is very detrimental with all of these speed bumps along the way.
Yeah, I definitely don't think there's not going to be a mistrial. The judge is the one who can declare a mistrial, and he's made it clear that he's not going to do that. The only way there would be a mistrial is if the jury somehow drops below 12 and he has to declare a mistrial. So I think we're in for the summer of the YSL trial. We're going to have Kenneth Copeland up on the stand probably all week, because really outside of the Caleb Bumpus dust up and Kenneth Copeland firing her on the stand, this was just more testimony from Kenneth Copeland, who is so central to this trial. And there's so much that we haven't even gotten into, that his direct exam probably will go all week, and then he'll be on cross next week.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Of course, Bumpus apparently called it a circus online, talking about potentially ex-parte communications and conversations there, like the one potentially not revealed to Brian Steele. So we'll see what comes of it, as he's going to serve some jail time pending an appeal. Anything else that you'd like to add before I let you go? Because there's a lot of different facets, a lot of different angles of this case.
Right. There's just so much going on. And I think it's just important that, everybody remembers there's Young Thug, a legal name Jeffrey Williams, but he has 5 co-defendants, and they're in jail without bail. One of them is actually serving a life sentence, but the others potentially could be released and live a life after this. And I know the attorneys are concerned about the length of the trial and just what this is doing to the case. It's so unprecedented to have a trial this long and to have the defendants being held without bail like this. Yeah, like you said, it's going on for more than a year now, and some tense moments there between the judge and different attorneys for all of those defendants and witnesses on the stand. All right, Megan, I appreciate your time. Another wild development today. Thank you for breaking it all down here on Live Now. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think you cut out there, so hopefully I'm not missing a question, but it's always great to give you guys an update on what's going on and everything. And I'm going to keep tracking the trial. So thank you so much. We're going to keep our eyes on it as well. Thank you again. Talk to you soon. Thank you. All right.